بالعلم بل بالأدب تنال أعلى الرتب فعش حياة العلماء وقرأ صنوف الكتب.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وآله وصحبه ومن والاه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. جزاكم الله خيرا. May Allah reward you all the best in this life and the next one. And may Allah grant us beneficial knowledge, guide us to the straight path, and to do things that are pleasing to Him, and reviving the conditions of humanity. We are still tackling the title, which is Attempt, Trials, Models to Translate Ideas into living reality. This is a topic that is deep and wide and big, but also it is needed. This is what I believe every Muslim, intellectual Muslims, need to discuss. Ideas, there are many, and there are many attempts, many ecosystems trying to embody those ideas into real life. And as we study them, analyze them, see what works, what doesn't work, and then from there we can make next step ahead of these things, or integrate, or connect, or bridge, or network those efforts, and consider them as piece of the puzzles. Everyone is in corner, separate, big or small. It doesn't matter. Has some shortcoming, doesn't matter. Need to study it in a neutral attitude, positive, also perception, and then look exactly what they are doing, how far they are successful, and how far they are falling short. And then from there, you can clearly see which way you are going to head. So the um, the the general theme is that Muslims in this country uh, are here for good, and they are everywhere in all aspects of life, and they are also having a lot of potentials also in all aspects of life, and they are able to contribute positively to advance the life of the whole society. At the same time, the windows, the opportunities is also available because of what is going on around the world. What is going on here internally in this country. So the expectations that Muslims really the only group among all other groups that can offer something that is good for the common good. That's good for the common good. If Muslims, if they step forward, they carry the moral code with them, the moral characters with them. They don't leave it behind. And actually, that's the area where they excel. That's the area where they stand out from any other groups. That they bring with them the morality and the characters and the nobility. And so, uh, this is why I think we need to study those attempts and institutes, organizations, centers, thinkers, what they are doing, how they are pursuing whatever the vision they have or idea they have, and how we can all together basically network and bring a unifying framework for making advancement and basically producing some better results. So we went through the triple IT, and we realized that it was a big step what they have done and what they have accomplished from integrating sciences and knowledge with all branches, and also reforming Islamic education. And now they are on the phase of reforming psychology, or seeing, is there Islamic psychology and how it is fit with the common psychology, because the West all really run by the psychology. And that's why they have this journal that called the American Journal of Islamic Social Sciences. And actually, that is what Muslims need: social sciences. Uh, Technical sciences is available by Muslims and non-Muslims, abundance. The need of social sciences that is soul based, not body based, not desires based, not consumption based. It is soul based. And if it is the social sciences nowadays have basically divorced the soul and went on discarding the existence, the influence, the impact, the importance of the soul. Muslims, their job is to bring social sciences into the base, which is the soul. And again, the duality of the human nature demand this balance between the two elements, the soul and the body. And all other activities of life and other aspects of life should be balanced between the two. You can, as we see, you can bring materialistic civilization when you neglect the soul and you just go with the body. You can bring materialistic civilization and advancement as we see it today, but it is not human civilizations. They're giving the four elements that needed: the justice, the freedom, the human rights, the democracy, giving it their values. It's limbic, because it is only have one leg, and that leg is the desires and the body and the matters and the materialistic things, and the soul is not there. So it is definitely limbing, and limbing is not going to go that far. So once we come to the conclusion about the triple IT, that they basically get themselves buried in theology and isolated from the common life of Muslims and non-Muslims, corner themselves in intellectual production, but it is not translated and transformed into living reality, disconnected really from its practice and its field to be practiced. And that is the lesson that we have to take in consideration if we are going to move forward. But we really appreciate the consistent effort in building social sciences that are soul based, and that journal is academic, is peer reviewed, credible, has a lot of intellect, and all of it written by Muslims, scholars, and other thinkers. Now, when we go to the second one, which is the social policies and understanding, which we call it ISPU. It's an institute for social sciences, social policies and understanding. This institute really a landmark in the progress of Muslims in this country, and they have a big reputation and have a lot of product that are accessible more than the triple IT, accessible for common consumption reading, benefiting through many media and many means of publishing their work. As also we said, their work is data collection and data research, and from there analyzing and coming with insight or concept of social sciences and understanding. It means behavior of Muslims and non-Muslims toward one another in all arena, and then how can we transfer that interaction into understanding? That's where they focus, but that is making them fall short of ideology and the depth of faith and the connection to the soul. It's only data, and the data can basically explain and describe behaviors and interactions of all communities and groups in the society, but that is not going to heal. It's not going to reform. Is not going to revive. Is not going to finish the journey. So it is one step in the way. It is good step, but we know for sure this is where it stopped. The ideology and the connection to the soul based insight and thought. And the third one is we have the Yaqeen Institute, but also we have Qalam and others. And we are not going to go through all of them. Today is going to be the last one, but Yaqeen. The rest of them will be the same thing. Yaqeen Institute is it has some strength and has some limitations, like any other institute. Uh, they focus on refuting doubts, bringing faith confidence, simplifying complex ideology concept into common understanding for the people. Uh, this oversimplification has led to some big problem, and that big problem is you find yourself only most of the time recycling information that is existing and regenerate that information in a different format, especially digital format, and some publications, some books, some video episodes, some thing on the website. But the advancement of thinking very limited. There is no insight. There is no depth in again uh, theology, faith, iman based, soul based. It is what do we call it? It is little bit surface benefit. It doesn't form a movement. It doesn't form generate generation. Our criteria is this: what is the outcome of any of this, whether it is a center or a mosque or an institute or school or organization or conference? What are the outcomes? We see, for example, masjid has no outcome. They never generate a generation that is advanced, that is well rounded religiously and behaviorally. They maintain the basic services that are required by the dean. Uh, and conferences, same thing. Organizations, same thing. So we hope the institute will take the work further, because the ecosystem of the institute is different than organization and a conference or masjid or Islamic center. And the ecosystem is different, and the setting is expected to be more advanced, to have a real measurable outcome. Means generations being graduated from this institute with burden, with responsibility, with vision, with action, with activism, with movements. This is what we need. If we stay the way we are, is basically stagnation. That's it. Yaqeen is no more, no more expansion or growth. ISPU, well, because the social issues is different from year to year, from election to election, from politics to politics. They produce something new every year, but that new, no more than description, it's what's going on and how we can make people understand one another. We need to, just like a school, what do you do in a school? You have a classroom, you have a curriculum, you have a teacher, you have a beginning and end, you have measures to measure the advancement and the learning, and then you have outcome that is parallel to a time frame. This is what we need, and this is what we can. This is the only way that is going to advance Muslims in this country and make progress. That is something systematic, like a college or like a university or like a institute, where definitely the key point is the curriculum. Definitely, second one is the teacher. But if you have the good curriculum that are systematically built and accumulating, the knowledge need to be internalized by the seekers, then you are producing something. There is a product, and that's that kind of people. Nowadays, those are flying words, flying thoughts, flying books and publications, but they do not produce um, leaders, educators, movement, progress, advancement. And this is what we hope from studying all these attempts, regardless of where they are, uh, to collect the resultant, the good things they do, and the things that they are short of. How can we basically put this together in a new strategic plan, new ecosystem, new foundation, new college or school or institute that go beyond all the existing one, and making advancement headway toward, as we say, from existing to influencing to flourishing. We need to rectify this. Materialistic civilizations lack a main pillar, which is that is not based on soul. It's not soul based. It is body based. It is matter based, and that is defect. And that is definitely wrong things to pursue. Human being cannot be fragmented, cannot be treated as too many separate pieces, get to be treated as a whole. And that is where we have to it's making the foundation, based soul foundation, and then go from existing to influencing, and from influencing to flourishing. and sustain the four elements: human right, freedom, justice, democracy. والله أعلم. جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.